You can increase your productivity by 5 or 10 times overnight by putting the 3 methods into action that I'm going to give you in my free course. So go download it right now by clicking the link just below here. So what's the best kind of therapy there is? This video is going to answer that for you, at least in my experience. My name is Claus Levin, and hit the bell icon and the subscribe button if you want original insights on personal development and success. So what is the best kind of therapy? In my experience, it's reality. What is therapy? Why do you go to it? Because you want change. You want to do something that is hard to do, or you want another result in your life. You want to feel differently, right? You feel limited. You're enslaved by your own emotions, whatever it is. And what often happens is that it's something we're afraid to do, to have that talk in our relationship, or to do that thing, to start that business, to make that change. And we seek therapy or a coach to help us do that. But what is really going on most often is that we're afraid to do something. And that thing we're afraid of is really our freedom. Because in life, we have this comfort zone, as we all know, if we've been into personal development for some time, we have this comfort zone of stuff we can do, say, have, and it's all comfortable. It doesn't challenge us. And just outside that comfort zone is that new job, is quitting the job, is going for that new relationship, is saying, I've had enough, I don't want to do this anymore. I feel unhappy and I want to do something about it, and I don't know what it is, but I'm just going to make a change so something happens, right? That's outside our comfort zone, and it makes us anxious, it makes us afraid. And that's the best therapist. If you do that all the time, if you challenge yourself all the time and say, okay, what am I really afraid of right now in my life? What would really give me that unnerving feeling of insecurity? That's where you need to go, right? Just a simple example. Let's say you're afraid of taking the elevator, right? You always take the stairs. That might, that gives you, a good workout, taking the stairs all the time. So that might be not too limiting, but I would take the elevator anyway. In fact, instead of taking the elevator and getting a panic attack in it, I would just approach it, right? And saying, okay, I won't take that, by the way. If you want to expand your life all the time and feel that exhilarating happiness when you conquer your worst fears, right? Which is basically growth. Then you want to challenge everything that you're afraid of, right? You want to do it at least to the point where you can do it without getting totally being terrified, right? So you want to approach the elevator, open the doors and say, I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to stand here, just in the doorway here, just going to step inside. Oh, that was good. Out again. Then you can practice going into the elevator and say, okay, I'm just going to take up 1 floor, right? 1 floor. That's it. It takes me like 4 seconds and I'm out again. So I'm going in, hitting the button, and 1 floor. Whatever you can do. Right? And even if you sat down in the elevator and that was the most scariest thing you could imagine, then you would sit in the elevator, you'd be screaming, for minutes until your body was done screaming. Because what happens when you're screaming is that the body thinks it's going to die. But it's not going to die, is it? So at some point, the whole body, your whole system is going to realize that this isn't dangerous. So whenever there's something you don't feel comfortable doing, ask yourself, will it kill me? Is it a lion with big teeth? Or something that might hurt me? Right? And if it's not, then the fear you feel is inappropriate to the situation. The fear is great, living in nature, whatever, right? You need fear in order to survive because you're afraid of stuff that actually hurts you. In this modern day reality, fear just occurs every time we try to do something that we're not used to. That used to be dangerous. You used to be under attack all the time by wild animals, other people, hunger, all kinds of stuff, diseases. So being afraid almost all of the time were a very good idea. Now, not so much. It's basically mostly going to limit you. And you're going to be bored within your little comfort zone, right? You're going to long and dream for other realities, other things you can do. It's a dissatisfying life. But we still have the mechanic of fear. And you need to break out of that to get to the real interesting part of life, you could say. But you don't have to do it like blam, explosively, but you just have to do it all the time. That's what it's about. That's growth. And the way to do that is to do it incrementally at a tempo that you can really endure, that's okay for you. And then you don't have to sit in therapy because you're confronting your fears all the time. And doing what you're afraid of will make you another human being. It's still you, right? You can't change the one you are, but what you can do, the amount of freedom you have, the new things you can do, the things you're not afraid of, right? When I started my first business, I was terrified. When I started the second, it was just, meh, right? When I had my first sales meeting with a big CEO, back when I was doing that, I was terrified. After 5, 6, 7 times of that, it was just like everyday experience. Right? Okay, so you're top of 100,000 employees. Doesn't scare me. Doesn't put you in a special place. I can relate to you. That's freedom. Instead of having to be afraid of talking to people who represent a higher authority. Right? So every time you do that, you get freer, freer, freer. And you can do more things in the world. Which is all what growth is about. So reality is the best therapy. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to a coach or a therapist. Not at all. I'm just saying you cannot rely on that alone. You can sit there forever, but if you're not focused on challenging what you're afraid to do, what you're afraid about, right, then nothing's going to happen, basically. So you can just have your little club of talking to your friends and talking to the therapist, and nothing will basically happen. So the friends and the therapist and everybody else just really are people who makes you stay put in your reality instead of a help. So those are the words. Subscribe to this channel, go hit the bell icon, and go download our free course on productivity. See you in the next video.